Hi there guys, I'm going to share how much a Golf R20 years costs in June 2023 and kind of compare it to its equivalent rivals, just to give you an idea of the update on prices, talk a little bit about the cars, talk about again its equivalent rivals in terms of price and potentially even performance. And yeah, let's go through that to give you hopefully a useful reference in June. So the Golf R20 years is a great car, and I had the brief experience of driving the car recently actually, and I'll leave that video in the description. But let's just talk about this car. So from Volkswagen spec, they're quite hard to kind of get these cars. But as of today, on the 9th of June 2023, you can actually still purchase the car, which seems a bit weird because it's about the 20 years. I'm unsure how long the production run's going to last, but essentially £49,735 is the on-the-road price before options, and you can get a few options for this car. So what's the car like on the used market? Well, the cheapest car is 48,489. There's a couple here as well, actually, all around sort of 48, 49. I didn't even know you could get a Golf R20 years with the blue in black. I thought they were all white and blue. This is the first one I've seen in black, and you can, part of the 20 years people are not familiar. You get the upgraded power, 333 horsepower, get a bit of carbon fibre in the middle. You get the sort of limited sort of 20 years kind of plaques knocking around, and you can get these optional sort of blue coloured wheels, which it's an interesting taste. I would say it's not for me personally. I'm just going to be honest with you, but yeah, that's something that you can get. I didn't realise you get it in black. I think if I was going to get one, it'd be probably the one that I test drove, which was in blue with black wheels. That looks quite nice. You can get them in white as well, which looks all right. But yeah, so you look at that. That's kind of the price. So say like a 72 plate car, hardly any miles, all from a main VW dealer. 48,400. And to be fair, it's a very well spec car. It's a fantastic car. I enjoy driving it. I enjoy driving the standard ones as well, but certainly 20 years has a little bit more heritage and a little bit more feel to it, and just improved kind of like the class of the car as well. I like the leather seats. I like the Napa leather. I like some of the options that the car comes with as a result of being a 20 years model. Below list. So for people thinking that you can buy 20 years and you can make a bit of money, it's not going to happen. Bear in mind, this is from a VW dealer. So that's where we are on prices with the 20 years. There's only 6 cars found, and I think some of them are just multiples, to be fair. I mean, this car says 57, so I don't understand that. So what can you get and like for your money today, which is equivalent or potentially better than a 20 years? So let's start off with a normal Mark 8 Golf R. And to be fair, this is probably where I would lean to. A, because of price, and B, because the standard Mark 8 Golf R is a brilliant car, even with no options. I've had the pleasure of driving quite a few, and it's great. The lowest priced car is 34,600, and actually there's quite a few now sort of below the £35,000 mark. I believe this is because a lot of cars are coming to the end of like their lease, that people might have got 1 or 2 year lease or a 2 year finance deal, and you can see that they're appearing at VW dealers. So that's pretty much the maximum you're going to be paying, because they're obviously going to charge the most. But they've obviously just had these cars appear back into stock. So 34,600, 28,000 miles. So it's not even high mileage really. And then there's one here. Well, that's 51,000 miles. So that's quite high. 37,000 miles, 32,000 miles, 26,000 miles, all around sort of the 35k mark. And that is a brilliant car. And if you look at the equivalent 20 years, I mean, a £15,000 saving, it's pretty tempting. I'm not going to lie. Really, really tempting. And probably actually as an investment as a car, if you keep for the long term, probably getting a 2-year-old car is going to be better. Okay, fair enough, this has 3 owners. Maybe find one with 1 or maximum 2 owners. But it's still going to be under warranty. You know, you're still going to get some usage out of it. Can I see a Golf R being worth, 29 grand anytime soon? Probably not. Not a Mark 8. But if you told me, could I see a Mark 8 20 years being worth 40 grand? I'd probably say yes. So you've got to think about depreciation, which is the biggest cost of ownership. And you're fundamentally still getting almost 100% of the package that you would in a 20 years. I'm not going to lie, I didn't notice too much difference with that extra little bit of power. But stepping outside the Golf R world, what can you get? And a few people commented me on this when I drove the 20 years, and I appreciate all your feedback, because I love you guys, my subscribers, and I do enjoy the Golf R. First thing I want to start off with, Audi RS3. A car I have driven also, a car that I like a lot. Now, This car is a one owner, 10,000 miles from Audi, 53,000. So you're talking £3,000 or £4,000 more than a 20 years. But for that, you're getting well, this is actually the saloon version. I didn't even notice that, which I think costs a little bit more to get it in saloon. It's in grey, which is actually quite a good colour to get these cars, because it's stealthed out. Looks quite base spec, I'm not going to lie. This car obviously has a 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine, pretty special. I mean, that one looks slightly higher spec, to be fair, at 57,000. But that's not too dissimilar money, and it's a very obviously a premium car with a badge and everything like that. And there's quite a few below the 55 mark that you can get, different colours, quite a lot of saloons actually. I wonder if that means the hatch is more. So this is probably the most highly spec'd one that I've seen, because it looks like it's got a little bit of a wing there, which looks quite cool. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that does look nice. Oh yeah, I do like that. Okay, this is probably one of the nicest ones I've seen. For 55 grand, you can get yourself that. I mean, that looks tasty. In the grey, which works for me, my Golf R, you'll see the channel thumbnail. It's my Golf R, which I've owned and since I started the channel for 6 years. That subtle hatch, but it's got so much performance, this car. This looks absolutely stunning, I've got to say, this car. I like that. It reminds me of the Oettinger spoiler, which you could get on a Mark 7 and Mark 7.5 Golf R's as an option. Looks very similar, actually. And then you've got the twin exhausts. Very, very nice. Very nice spec, actually. I mean, it's a menacing car and a very premium car at that as well. And that car is up for 55,000. 16,000 miles isn't exactly too bad. Quite high for a car that's only a year or year and a half old. But yeah, that's what you can get. And that's, I would say, I mean, that feels like a bigger step on than 5 grand to a Golf R 20 years. And these are likely, you know, they're very new in the market now. Will they drop too much? I don't know. A sub 50 grand RS3 probably isn't too far away, but that's what you can get for your money. And I'm really interested to know what you guys think as well, actually. Do you think, you know, these comparisons are kind of right? You know, going from the Golf R 20 years to a normal Mark 8 Golf R to the RS3s. It's an interesting one. And I've got another curveball. And this curveball is a car I love. This car. The A45 AMG. Now, I've shared on this channel as subscribers A35 AMG quite a few times. Car I really, really have enjoyed, and you know, I think you've seen the videos. I think it's a great car. The 45 is just naturally going to be better and faster, and you know, 421 PS DCT gearbox. Now, these cars are quite good to get into because they sort of produced them sort of late 2019. So you can see that's a 69 plate car, which means they've lost pretty much all the money they're going to really lose. And I was really surprised that it's a BMW dealership, so it's a main dealership, is selling this car for 39,000. It's a free owner car, which is high. It's only done 28,000 miles. Now, appreciate that this car is, again, a low spec car, but you're getting everything. You're getting that A45 performance. I think I would probably want one with a performance pack, which gives you the wing. And let's see the cheapest price performance. Well, I think it's called the performance pack. I think it's the Aero Kit, they call it, for Mercedes. There we go. There's an Aero Kit car. Okay, it's done high miles, £42,000. In my favourite grey, from that same company, actually, selling the RS3. Very nice spec, very nice car. There's the wing. Looks a little bit more aggressive than the twin tailpipes. But an equivalent to that, I found the A35 pretty good and pretty fast as well, and you can get that with the Aero Kit. So those are kind of your options. So what would you go for? £48,000 or so for a Golf R 20 years, £35,000 or so, 2-year-old Mark 8 Golf R, relatively base spec, but yeah, 35,000. Or would you spend £54,000 on an RS3? £40,000. It's actually technically less because there was a couple in the 30s, 39 again, on an A45S. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I generally feel they're the people's kind of supercars. They're almost hyper hatches. They're at that kind of level. Even the Golf R now, it's really has stepped up a game. Definitely felt significantly quicker than Mark 7s and 7.5s I've tried, which again are fantastic cars, which I love a lot. And again, that could be another car I will always recommend, the Mark 7, Mark 7.5 Golf Rs, because for the money, as I've said, between sort of like £14,000 to say high 20s, it's a lot of car for the money. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, plenty more content to come.